Who are the 144,000? Chapter 7, verse 1 to 8. Chapter 7 is an interstitial chapter, which answers the question of who will stand in chapter 6, verse 17, and is located after the opening of the sixth seal and before the opening of the seventh seal in chapter 8, verse 1. Chapter 7 is divided into the first half of 1 to 8, the second half of 9 to 17. The first half is again divided into verses 1 to 4. The background of the 144,000 were sealed, and the counting of those who were sealed in 5 to 8. Verse 1. After this, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds the earth to prevent any wind from blowing on the land, or on the sea, or any tree. The 4 angels in verse 1 are angels entrusted with managing the natural world. The 4 corners of the earth, Isaiah chapter 12 verse 11, chapter 22 verse 12, and Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 2, means the whole world. Like the 4 winds in Zechariah, the wind symbolizes the judgment that will come upon the world at the end of the time, and represents destruction, war, and calamity. Prevent is a present active participle, continuing to prevent disasters from happening. In verse 2 to 4, it says, Then I saw another angel coming up from the east, having the seal of the living God. He called out in a loud voice to the 4 angels who had given power to harm the land and the sea. Do not harm the land or the sea or the trees until we put a seal on the foreheads of the servants of our God. Then I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel. What does verse 2 mean? The words, coming up from the east, having the seal of the living God, make it clear that the Creator is alive and that it is God who put the seal on them. Do not harm means He will protect you from being deceived from the scourge of the beast. Why is another angel shouting in verse 2 and 3? Prevent the wind is the action of stopping the progress of judgment. There has been grace before judgment. He protects His people even in judgment and is the God of mercy and compassion. What does it mean to be sealed? Since the seal signifies the Holy Spirit, it represents God's servants and God's chosen people. The meaning of being sealed is derived from the custom of buying and selling slaves and signifies possession and protection. In other texts of the Bible, the seal is as follows. 2 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 22 sets His seal of ownership on us and puts His Spirit in our hearts as a deposit, guaranteeing what is to come. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 13. Having believed, you are marked in Him with a seal, the promised Holy Spirit. Revelations chapter 9 verse 4. They were told not to harm the grass of the earth or any plant or tree, but only those people who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads. So why 144,000? This is the 12 elders representing the 12 tribes of Israel in the Old Testament, and the 12 disciples representing the saints in the New Testament, totaling to 144 people. 144 times 1,000 represents a unit like an army, or a lot, so it represents the complete number of God's saved people. Therefore, the 144,000 here means all the people of God throughout the Old and New Testament times, and it symbolizes all saints in general, not any specific group. So in Israel, in verse 4, is the spiritual Israel. As God's saved people, as a community fighting on the ground in the background of Numbers 1, it is the same number as great multitude that no one could count. Verse 5 to 8. From the tribe of Judah, 12,000 were sealed. From the tribe of Reuben, 12,000. From the tribe of Gad, 12,000. From the tribe of Asher, 12,000. From the tribe of Naphtali, 12,000. From the tribe of Manasseh, 12,000. From the tribe of Simeon, 12,000. From the tribe of Levi, 12,000. From the tribe of Issachar, 12,000. From the tribe of Zebulun, 12,000. From the tribe of Joseph, 12,000. From the tribe of Benjamin, 12,000. The following table compares the arrangement of the tribes shown here with the arrangement of the tribes in the Old Testament. Unlike the order of arrangement of 12 tribes in the Old Testament, starting with the tribe of Reuben, the eldest son, it begins with the tribe of Judah. Also, the tribe of Dan and Ephraim were excluded, and the tribe of Joseph and the tribe of Levi entered in their place. Why is it different from the arrangement of the tribes in the Old Testament? Reflecting the advent of the Messiah and his fulfillment by starting with Judah, the messianic lineage. It is to give a message to the church that is under the threat of idolatry by excluding the tribe of Dan and Ephraim, who worshipped idols. The fact that the tribe of Levi entered shows the status of the saints who no longer follow the lineage of the priesthood, and all the saints can boldly approach God. Chapter 7 answers the question of who can stand on the great day of wrath. It demonstrates the merciful patience of God and the spiritual and universal numbers of 144,000 he depicts as people who reject idols and resist to end in a self-giving way, despite their weakness until the final judgment. This encourages these new Israelites to hope for the coming of the Messiah and helps them overcome the current tribulations as well. 1. Why were the 4 angels holding back the winds of the earth so that they could not blow? 2. Whom does the symbol of 144,000 who were sealed represent? It is said that the seal of the Holy Spirit, which is the guarantee of salvation, is inside the heart. May your heart also be redeemed and enjoy the life of 144,000 people of the Lord who boldly come before the Lord as those who are owned by God. Thank you.